Hey everybody, welcome to day 10 of the Take Back Your Life journey of thinking right so that we can live right.
You got it.
I don't know why we celebrate that so much, the fact that I can get through like a one sentence intro. What's wrong with us?
It's because we want to get it right the first time. I mean, we're going to kind of talk about that today, right?
Yeah, and this has been the third try.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I didn't mess up on the intro every time, but today's reading is a little difficult because it brings up some emotions from our past, from Pastor Levi and Pastor Jenny's perspective. It brings up a lot of grief and tragedy from their past. But to kick it off, let's give the title. The title is Lenya Lenses. And the verse for today is, Jesus spoke to them saying, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will not walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. And Pastor goes on to tell his story. And the focus of his story is the fact that we often can let grief, sadness, darkness take over our world.
And loss.
Yeah.
It just seeps in. You know, we don't see it coming. We are caught off guard by it because it's not something that we're focusing on. But we live in a broken and fallen world. And this channel specifically, it is here to encourage and minister to blended families. And for us, you know, our grief and our loss was the loss of the biological family that we thought was going to be forever until death do us part. And things in this world don't always work out the way that we want it to. For one person or another, they decide that they no longer want to do this. And you find yourself in the middle of a divorce, in the middle of a loss, in the middle of a darkness because you thought, you know, if God was with me, then this wouldn't happen. And He's there with you. If you're a Christian, He's there walking along with you. And He desires for you to be close to Him, which is what He's wanting, is He wants you to see things through His light, through His eyes. And we talked about this a little bit before, but, you know, we both started seeking what God wanted for our families before we ever started dating. And then we only dated for a short period of time and got married. And we weren't completely healed at that point. We were both still very broken, and we continued to go down the way that we felt that we needed to go until about 5 years into our marriage, and it came to another point of, where are we going to go? And we had to make that choice.
Yeah, the thought of going through divorce a second time was that lens moment for us. God was able to adjust the lens in the way that we saw each other and the way that we saw Him, and it saved our marriage. We were both able, through different methods, to find God in a new light, in a new way, and He was able to reconcile the way that we communicated with each other by us focusing on how each of us individually was communicating with Him. And once Jesus began to fill us, then our relationship was able to be reconciled. And we've come back stronger and better.
Praise God, our kids have been able to see through that lens without going through the actual relationship part of it. They've been, you know, secondary to it, but it has changed their end of their childhood. I mean, I say end of their childhood. We've got 21 to 15 at this point, and they've been living in this with us for about 7 years after that lens moment. And I think that it has helped them to see how to put God at the center and how to die to self, how to not always get your way. Now, it's not perfect ever, really. I mean, we are still human, And we still have to apologize. We still have to step back and admit, hey, I don't think that I saw that the way that I should. And that's the Holy Spirit that is leading us, saying, you really should apologize. You really should do this or do that.
Pastor leads into the end of today's reading, talking about how Jesus gives us new lenses to see things. Whenever we give up the idea that we are somehow in control of things and begin to focus on who Jesus is and why he came and what he intends for all of us, when we give up our control, he is able to use that to bounce a new light off of our souls, off of our corneas, and then we see things completely different. I don't see her the way that I did the first 4.5 years that we were married. And I don't think that she sees me the way that she did in those first 4.5 years. So even though divorce is a ripping apart, we have hope that God has greater things ahead for us as a blended family. And for you, if you're in a blended family, God named our families. God created a way. And so what does it say in Ephesians?
In Ephesians 3:14 through 17, it says, "For this reason I kneel before the Father, from whom every family in heaven and on earth derives its name. I pray that out of his glorious riches he may strengthen you with power through his Spirit in your inner being, so that Christ may dwell in your hearts through faith. And I pray that you, being rooted and established in love, may have power together with all the Lord's holy people."
God has named your family. If you're in a blended family, God knew the end from the beginning, and he knows your story. So let him fix your lens. Let him be the light that you bounce all of the world off of.
And let us encourage you. Some of the things that we dealt with whenever we were going through all of that first 4 years was we felt isolated. We felt like nobody else has ever been through this. It shouldn't be this hard. If God was in this, then it would be different than it is. And all of those things are not true. Those are just things that the enemy is telling you to keep you isolated. So we would encourage you to find community. And God gave us hope there too in community, that we are not alone. That, like we just said in Ephesians 3:14 through 17, that he named us in heaven. He knew that this family was going to be.
So the closer that we grow to God, the closer we grow together. But the point here to remember is that we need to let Jesus be the lens that we've used to focus all of the things that come at us in this world. So that's Lenya's Lenses, day 10. Again, let me encourage you to do those questions in the back of the reading. Make sure that you're writing them down in your journal. So one thing I want to talk about before we get out of here today is the fact that today is Giving Tuesday here in America, a chance for us to give back to organizations that are making a difference around the country, around the world, after we have gone crazy with all of the sales that happen over the weekend after Thanksgiving. We have a special group that we want to talk about today. Some friends of ours, Junior and Jamie, run a program in Haiti that feeds children, that provides education, that takes kids off the street. And so tell us a little bit more about what it is that they're doing.
So they have a program called the Reach Out program, and it is a 501c3 that provides meals. It provides different family needs for kids that are in Haiti. I know one of the things that they've talked to us about is that up to 80%, did Jamie say up to 80% of the kids that are in orphanages in Haiti are not actually orphans. Their families are just poor, and so they're not able to support the children. And the Reach Out program is more the almost like our welfare Medicaid type program. And they also have another program that they have just started as a leg of that called the REV program. And the REV program is where they're actually helping the kids with their education. In Haiti, you have to pay to go to school. And so they have teachers that are there, and they are collecting sponsors so that the kids can go to school. And they have the elementary age school kids come in the morning, and then the high school kids come in the afternoon. So we're going to put a link below for Reach Out LaFond Haiti. And if you feel inclined, then we would love for you to join us in supporting that program and feeding some of the kids that are there, maybe taking care of some of the school needs that are there.
So they can feed these kids for about 10 cents a day. If you give $5, you've gotten 50 meals. So your gift can add up quickly to feed some kids that need it, to support a ministry that is doing their very best to protect kids, keep them off the street, get them educated, and provide them a vision for a future in Haiti that is not just overrun with poverty. The link will be below. Check it out. I promise you, if you give to this organization, that it's going to go to good use. We've totally been blown away by getting to know Jamie and Junior and know that their hearts are pure gold as they serve in Haiti. So Reach Out LaFond. The link will be below, and we hope that you'll take the time to check it out and hopefully give them a little bit of support as we go. So that's it for day 11.
Day 10.
Oh, day 10. Darn. I was getting excited. Tomorrow is day 11. So tomorrow we're going to read about the bread and circuses. I don't really know what that's going to be about, but I'm sure it'll be interesting. So, I mean, how can you not be interesting with a title like bread and circuses? So, guys, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you going through this with us. Make sure that as you go today, let Jesus be the lens with which you see everything that happens around you. Don't let the world cloud up your vision. Stay strong. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Day 11.
Day 11.
I say this every day, and I always laugh. Make sure you ding the bell if you want to be notified whenever these videos go live every day. And subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell the people that live next door, tell the people that you just walked by on the street that they need to subscribe to an amazing channel that's going to benefit their family. We love you guys. Have a great day.